Na kamati ya bunge la taifa kuhusu mawasiliano inaendelea na mahojiano juu ya hatua ya serikali kuzima mawimbi ya matangazo ya vituo vitatu vya televisheni nchini. Mbele ya kamati hiyo ni uongozi wa kampuni ya Standard Group ikiongozwa na kaimu afisa mkuu Orlando Lyomu akiwa na Joe Munene ambaye ni meneja mkurugenzi wa matangazo pamoja na Joe Ageyo meneja na mhariri wa KTN News.
Shutdown if an occurrence goes beyond what you should be transmitting. So it was in that light that I asked the question, and it was not conclusively prosecuted to my satisfaction.
Good. Thank you very much. Those are the questions, and I'll ask you if you feel that there is anything that is out of what you'll be able to answer. You don't have to, you just ignore, because you did not come here to be grilled. We invited you for information so that it can help us to interrogate the next team that are coming in. You have 5 minutes to do all the questions.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for the breathing room you've accorded us. There was a question on whether we have engagements with the stakeholders like CA, and the answer to that is affirmative. In fact, I remember towards the end of last year when we had a lot of political activities going on, leading up even to the October elections, we had a lot of engagements with CA. CA would invite us to morning sessions where we would discuss impending situations. And as far as that is concerned, I can say there's been engagement. Probably, unfortunately, in this instance, there was no such engagement prior to this particular shutdown. But in previous situations, there have been invitations. We've honored them. We've gone and we've had discussions. On the question of 2007, 2008, I think, Chair, I would like to say that the jury is out. I do not want to awaken anything on that discussion. Everyone has their opinion, and we shall leave it at that. There was a question on whether we review events. Again, the answer to that is affirmative. There are constant meetings to review events that have taken place in our establishments. There are many meetings that try to anticipate events that are about to take place and create scenarios and decide if things go one direction, how do we react? If they go a different direction, how do we deal with that? So in terms of operational efficiency, we have to constantly review both the past and the upcoming events because that's our responsibility. We do not want to step into a situation where we do not know what our options are. Unfortunately, with life, you can never predict the future, not even the next 2 minutes. We don't know what will happen in the next 2 minutes. So we always try to prepare ourselves for any eventuality, especially when the stakes are very high. There was a question on clarification on the breach of contract. One, we do have contracts, very clear contracts. Two, if a contract is breached, then we have to quantify what we have lost or what is the damage from that contract. In the case of the carriers, you pay them a certain amount every month to carry you. So if they switch you off, the most immediate remedy is you owe me money because I paid you to carry me, you didn't carry me. So there's a financial impact that is quantifiable down to the number of days that were off air, and you can compute how much they owe us. Now, as to the other, which is business loss, then that has to be quantified and we define who's responsible for that. The carrier, their duty is to carry us. So when they fail to carry us, we look at how much we pay them for that carriage and therefore how much they would owe us for services not rendered. I hope that clarifies the contractual obligations. And if it doesn't clarify, then I'm not sure what else is expected because any other matter out of that, then I don't want to overstep the boundaries. If we want to go for a legal fight, then I don't want to preempt by saying anything that might prejudice that.
Chair, maybe just to shed light, and I think when we earlier indicated the difficulty in terms of looking at it from the carrier point, if you look at the communication that was sent to them by the CA, it actually read, in view of defiance of KTN News, to comply with the government ban on live coverage of the events related to the swearing in, you are directed to remove KTN News Channel from your platform with immediate effect. So did the platforms have any leeway? I think that's a subject that we can debate. But I think the communication was very explicit in terms of the authorization and the effect of that communication.
And that's why I was saying we have to evaluate everything. I think earlier, Chair, there was a question that was asked, and I said that at this point we are still trying to collect every piece of information, both in terms of any pending communication that we should have received, the positions of the various stakeholders in this matter, before we actually sum up what direction we can take, both legally or otherwise, in terms of engaging with those we work with.